Hello, Star Citizens, and welcome to another video. So this one is going to be a bit of a bummer, but it's also like eye-opening, right? And this is why I think it's really important to wait for Q&As for ships rather than just like going out and buying everything, right? So before we get started, as always, we're doing a ship giveaway. This month's ship is the MPUV tractor that we're giving away. Make sure you like or dislike the video, make sure you comment, and make sure you are subscribed, and then you will be entered to win. As the same for all my giveaways, just like or dislike, either one, I don't care. And then leave a comment and make sure you're subscribed and you'll be entered to win. So let's get into this because it's a little upsetting, but it's also a little, you know, like what I expect. It's balanced. All right, let's go. All right, so the Drake Ironclad. All right, we're calling it the Caterpillar, but for this video, I'm actually demoting it back to Ironclad because we got to talk about some stuff. All right, so the Ironclad is great. It's legitimately going to change what a lot of people put in their fleets because of it's just got a lot. All right, so let's go through the tech specs first, actually. So let's cut over to the tech specs. All right, so here we're at the tech specs. I want to show you this. All right, so it's got, you know, 4 size 5 launchers with 2 size 4 missiles, so that should be 8 size 4 missiles. It's got 3 size 2 tractor beams. It's got 1 size 5 man turret, 2 size 3 remote turrets, 1 size 3 man turret, and then 1 size 2 interior remote turret. So it's got some decent firepower as is before you even get to the assault model. It's got, you know, the 10 thrusters back here, but this is also important. It's got 2 retros, 4 VTOLs, and 18 MAV. I don't know what the MAV ones are. I don't know what that is. Maneuvering thrusters, I think, or is it maneuvering VTOLs? It's one of those two. I think it's maneuvering VTOLs. That seems right. And then when you look here, this is exactly the same as you can see, except this one up here does not have jump seats. This one has 34 jump seats. So obviously it's the Ironclad Assault, so you're expected to, you know, put some troops on the ground. So there's that. But then you look at the turrets. This one also adds a turret. Okay, so I think it's adding, we got size 5, 2 size 3 remotes. Oh, it turns the size 3 remotes into size 3 remote quads. No, it adds 2 size 3 remote quads. So there's 4 size 3s. Some of them are just the regular doubles, and then there's this adds 2 quads, but everything else is the same as far as the turrets. The missiles are the same as well. So this is the part of the video where I'm upset, not because it's not what's supposed to happen. I'm upset because I thought I was getting everything. You know, like when you think you're gonna get everything you've ever asked for, and then it's like on Christmas Day where you were expecting, I don't know, what's something that everybody likes? Let's say you were expecting, you know, a bike that was like the 10-speed Huffy, that was like the top of the line, right? And then you get a bike, right? So, you know, still a bike, but it's like not the top of the line one that you thought, and it's, you know, a color that you don't like or something like that, right? You're still like excited. Hey, I got a bike, you know, and it can still do everything the other bike can do. It's just not what you quite expected. So why am I saying that? Because if you look here, you'll see that this has 3 size 2 tractor beams. Come down here, and this has the component fabrication, the rearm and refuel garage, the main garage hall jump seats, the upper walk area jump seats. All right. So I'm not sure if they're double dipping here and this is jump seats and then more jump seats, or if this is just counting all the jump seats. But notice that you don't see tractor beams. It's looking like the Assault does not have tractor beams. And if that's the case, then I don't want the Assault. Because it looks like the Assault is not, obviously it's called the Ironclad Assault, so it's telling you there's a different purpose. But with that type of ship, it looks like they really, they're trying to very much so tell you, this is not the Ironclad. This is the Ironclad Assault. You cannot do most of the things that you are going to be able to do in the Ironclad, because guess what else is missing? When you look at this interior view, it's talking about jump seats and cargo. It's not saying anything about a retractable roof. If you look up here, top opening hangar cargo bay, and it doesn't mention that here. Now, I don't see any reason for the top to not be able to open. So my guess is that'll get clarified in the Q&A, and perhaps you will still be able to open the cargo bay. But what I'm really concerned about is the missing tractor beams. If this thing doesn't have any tractor beams, or like you have to give up something to get a tractor beam, the Ironclad Assault is a no. It's an absolute no. Unless, of course, you need specifically what it's offering, you know, with the jump seats and stuff. Because I was super excited for the Assault because of the like refuel and rearm garage and component fabrication. But if the idea there is that it's literally just a garage for your vehicles that are on there, and you have to give up the tractor beams, which would allow you to like make it a cargo ship and your rearm and refuel garage. I'm not with that. I think if they kept the tractor beams, you know, I could figure the rest out. But like losing the tractor beams on a ship that can still carry 1,152 cargo, I don't care what else it can do. If it doesn't have tractor beams, I don't want that ship. Because now all I can do is drive vehicles onto it. And again, it's great at that. Not saying that the Ironclad Assault has no use. It's doing what it's supposed to do. And so that's why I'm not, like I said, it's kind of weird because I'm not upset that that's what it does, so much as I was hoping that it would be the Ironclad plus. Like, I guess I was hoping it would be the Ironclad plus, you know, these jump seats and weapons and stuff, right? Because otherwise, I feel like this ship should just be like $400. I think they both should be $400, or maybe the Assault is $425 because it technically has more use cases. But like, how do you justify a $125 difference between these two ships? I don't see it. I don't see the Ironclad, which carries like 400 extra SCU and has the tractor beams, and for sure has the top opening cargo bay. I don't see trading the 400 SCU and the tractor beams and potentially the top opening for an extra turret, rearm and refuel, like that might only be for the vehicles, and then maybe not having the top opening. Like, I don't know. I don't see $125 worth of value there. I see $50 max there. I feel like a lot of people are going to get the Assault and get upset, but this is why I'm making this video, because this is what I want you to do. If you're interested in either one of these, I would get a CCU to both. I would get a CCU to the Ironclad and a CCU to the Ironclad Assault. I think you can get both. If I'm not mistaken, I think you can get both. I think both for a total of like 60 bucks, right? This is assuming, you know, I wouldn't get I would get the C2 to the Ironclad, which is $50, and then I can't remember what the other one is, but there's a $10 CCU to the Ironclad Assault, and so that's a total of 60 bucks, right? Because I do think that these ships are going to be awesome, but I'm leaning more towards the Ironclad. And the reason I tell you to get the CCUs, and the reason why this has the don't buy an Ironclad thing, right, is because I think we need to wait to the Q&A. And this is from now on, you know, this has kind of always been my thing, but like, I really think everybody should wait for the Q&A before you purchase any ship. And that's because there's certain questions that have to be answered to really determine the value of these, right? So if the Ironclad Assault still has at least one tractor beam and that the top portion can still open, I think the Assault is the better ship. If it has at least one tractor beam and the top can still open, that to me makes the Assault the better ship. But if it has 0 tractor beams or the top cannot open, if either one of those things are true, the Assault is not the better ship. And my guess is the top will be able to open, because I think that's kind of like one of its defining features, right? It would be weird to just be like, oh, the top can't open, and then be like, well, why can't it? And then not really have a reason for that. It wouldn't really make sense unless the idea is that, oh no, the top stays closed because it's armored and it's keeping the vehicles inside safe, right? I think the top will be able to open. When you look at the top looks very similar. This one's a little red on the inside, and it looks like this, yeah, just certain parts are red with the Ironclad. But when I look at it, it looks like the exact same top, just with slightly different colors. So I just don't see why it wouldn't be able to retract. So my guess is what's going to be missing is the tractor beams. And if I can add a tractor beam, I might still say the Ironclad Assault is worth it, as long as I don't lose my rearm, refuel, and component fabrication. If I have to lose that to get the tractor beam, it's not worth it. I would just stick with the Ironclad and not get the Assault. So yeah, I don't know how I feel, because I really wanted the Assault, but at the same time, I feel like I'm going to have to go with the Ironclad. But that's not a bad thing. The Ironclad is still an amazing ship. It's just, when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna get the tractor beams. I'm gonna get the jump seats. I'm gonna get the rearm and refuel. And to be very clear, I'm not upset with CIG for this, because that would balance the ship if it doesn't have the tractor beams. That balances the gameplay. What I don't like is that they didn't clarify on this brochure whether this thing has the tractor beams, or maybe they did by just not including it. But they also didn't clarify whether it'll have the retractable roof, so we're stuck left, you know, asking questions. And I think they'll clear it up in the Q&A, but I also don't like the price of the Assault. It's $125, or wait, no. I said that wrong earlier too. It's not $125 more. It's $75 more. The Ironclad is $450, and the Ironclad Assault is $525. So it's $75 more. I can't justify, and even still, I can't justify $75 more for what I'm getting in the Assault, because the ship is already $450. So with the Assault should be $475 or $500, but $525 is too much. Now it's weird saying that as well, right? Because I think the main competitor to this ship is going to be the Anvil Liberator, and I'm going to make a video comparing the two later, and it'll be a pretty short video. But the Anvil Liberator is $575, so it's kind of hard to be like, oh, the Ironclad, even the Ironclad Assault, it's hard to say, oh, that's too expensive when you have the Liberator over here at $575. And I think the M2 is $520 if I'm not mistaken. So, oh yeah, that's the Liberator, or not the Liberator. The Ironclad Assault CCU is the M2 to the Ironclad Assault. So obviously the M2 does not come equipped with everything this thing comes equipped with. This can fit more vehicles than the M2, has more weapons than the M2, but it also requires, I think, a higher crew than the M2. I think the M2 is a 4 crew, and this is a 6 crew. But I also think the M2 is going to be faster. I think the M2 is going to be better in, space combat. So, it depends. I think they both serve a purpose. I just don't think, I don't know. I think maybe that's why they had to give it the $525, because the M2, like making this ship cheaper than the M2 would have been a little weird. So I don't know. I feel like they had to squeeze the Assault in there somewhere. And yeah, I gotta wait for the Q&A. I bought both. I bought CCUs to both, hoping that the Q&A tells me that I'm gonna get a tractor beam and that this top portion is still gonna open. If it does, this video becomes null and void. But right now, I'm thinking it's the Ironclad, and the Ironclad is awesome. 1536 SCU, and let's talk about that, right? 1536 SCU, armored storage. No other vehicle has armored storage and has 1536 SCU. Like, none. And then you have the secure freight as well. So don't forget that. Another thing that I love about the Ironclad is this detachable module. So you get this detachable module here, which obviously the Caterpillar has as well. And the detachable module has its own stats. Like, it has its own shield, it has its own thrusters, it has its own everything, right? So I like that. And that's something that's obviously different from the Liberator and stuff. And another thing that I like about the Ironclad is, so when I think about cargo ships, right, especially when I think about this much cargo, right, if I don't have like a Kraken or a Idris, or I don't have a Javelin or something, like when I think of this much cargo inside of a ship, those are the types of ships I think of. And this thing is only 120 meters. This is smaller than the Liberator and carries more cargo. So when I think about this type of ship, it really is fitting a slot where I don't think a lot of people are thinking about it. Like, I don't think a lot of people are thinking about the role that this fills, even though that's kind of what the whole ISC video was about. It was like, no, this is really filling a role that we just don't have. And that's what when I look for new ships and how great they are, that's what I look for, is like, are you filling a role, or are you just like, now this is the competitor to this, or this is the competitor to this. And this is a very unique role. I don't think anybody who does cargo can skip the Ironclad unless you're only interested in very small cargo. Like, if there's some people who only want to, do short cargo runs. Like, the C2 might be the biggest thing that they're interested in because they just don't like flying big ships. I completely understand that. If that's it for you, you just want to do cargo runs and your your C2, even your M2, like, I 100% understand that. But the C2's biggest issue is it doesn't have tractor beams, and I think that's my biggest knock on the C2. So I wouldn't be able to skip that if I come down to the Assault and it doesn't have tractor beams, which I think is a problem with the C2. Obviously, it's not meant to be a cargo ship. It's more so meant to be a vehicle drop ship. Like, it's supposed to put vehicles down. It's not really supposed to carry cargo, even though it's capable of it. But I just feel like the C2 should have had the tractor beam. The M2 should not have it. The A2 shouldn't have it. But the C2, I think, should have had the tractor beam. I think that would have made the C2 a little bit more useful in general. So, and it's part of why I put the M2 above the C2, because I feel like, well, if you don't have a tractor beam, there's no reason to have 600, all that cargo. If you don't have the tractor beam, you might as well just get the extra gun and the extra armor. That's going to be worth more than the extra cargo, because you're going to be better able to defend yourself. The Ironclad doesn't seem like it'll have a problem defending itself. I mean, yes, you only got the one size 5, turret, but the 2 size 3s will keep fighters off. Or the 3 size 3s will keep fighters off. So, and you got some missiles. You can get where you need to go. Obviously, with all cargo ships, I don't care how well gunned they are, you should always have some, some people with you for defense. But if you're in the more remote reaches of space, sometimes you can get away with it. But just know that you're taking a chance. But yeah, I'm still a huge fan of the Caterpillar, or the Fatterpillar, whichever one we want to go with. I think we should call the Ironclad the Fatterpillar, and then we should call the Ironclad Assault the Caterpillar, right? Because I've heard this Caterpillar a few more times, and I'm like, we can use both. Why not both, right? So, yeah, I'm a little bummed out by the fact that we don't have confirmation of whether this will have the tractor beams and the thing. But hey, it's a concept ship. It's not like we're gonna get it tomorrow. So it is what it is. But this has been your lesson in wait for the Q&A. All right. Yeah. And my last thing, and I'll end the video with this. The Caterpillar is the loaner for this, and I don't know how I feel about that. So the Caterpillar obviously is only, like, I think the Caterpillar is $330 right now, so it's $70 cheaper than the Ironclad, right? But the Ironclad Assault only gets the Caterpillar as well, and it's $525, right? So I know I'm not crazy. Wait, I am a little crazy because it's not that much. It's $450. The Ironclad's $450. So that's 50, 70, that's $130. No, $120. That's $120. The Ironclad is $120 more expensive than the Caterpillar, which makes the Ironclad Assault $195 more than the Caterpillar. So why is that the only loaner that we get? Doesn't that seem like a problem? Like, I mean, I just feel like there's other ships that we could get in addition to this. Like, I think we should get a C2 and a Caterpillar. Or, well, no, maybe not a C2 and a Caterpillar. That might be a bit much. I think the Ironclad Assault should get an M2, because that just makes sense. But the Liberator gets the M2. But that shouldn't really stop the Ironclad Assault from getting the M2. I think the Ironclad should get the M2. And then you could just stop there with the Ironclad Assault because technically they're very closely priced. But the Ironclad, I feel like it should get the Caterpillar plus something, right? Maybe the Drake Cutter or something like that. What's another ship? Maybe a C1, you know? I just feel like it's, I don't need another Caterpillar in my bay. I have like 12 other ships that are awaiting, you know, that I get like a Caterpillar loaner for. So I don't know. I just feel like the loaner should be better as well. That's another part that I was a little bummed about. So hopefully they change the loaners or something like that. But again, last part, the Ironclad I think is worth it, bar none. The Ironclad, the base Ironclad is worth it, bar none. The Assault may be worth it. Especially, it's definitely worth it if you know that all you want to do is put vehicles in this thing and all you want to do is use it for its assault capabilities, and you want this to be your garage, you know, on ground. Like you want to take you know, tanks off of it, go fight, come back, fix the tanks, go back out, or whatever other vehicles you might put in there. Obviously, if that's what you want to do, the Assault is the best ship for that in the game. There's nothing else that's even touching it. But if you were thinking that you were going to use this as a cargo ship with some extra guns, I mean, it still can do cargo. But you can't open the top up. And it has the repair, the rearm and refuel garage, but it doesn't have tractor beams. So yeah, it can do cargo and you could put the cargo in it, but you're gonna have to manually load it, and it's 1152 SEU of cargo to manually load. That doesn't seem realistic to me. If I was building the Assault, I think I would have got rid of the main garage jump seats to ensure that I had at least one tractor beam. And I don't think people would have been that upset about it. I think you get rid of half of those jump seats, bring it down to 17 or 18 jump seats, and I think people would be perfectly fine with that, because it's going to be hard to even find 34 people to put in this. Even if you use NPCs, that's still a lot of NPCs to hire. So yeah, I think they could have did a little better on the Assault, but the Ironclad is Ironclad. This Mona Lisa masterpiece. Hey, you know, I can't wait to like review this ship, because I already have an idea of what this ship is going to be as far as its score, but it's nothing less than an 8. I'll go ahead and spoil that for you right now. Whereas the Assault is up in the air, and that I think is my main disappointment, is because I want both of them to just be up there, but because of the unanswered questions, I can't put it there. But yeah, that's the Ironclad Assault, and that's the thing that maybe you weren't tracking, or maybe you didn't know, and I just wanted to make sure I made the video and I was honest about it, because, you know, I hyped the crap out of the Ironclad yesterday, or the day before yesterday. So I just wanted to be completely honest with you today. And this is why we do these types of reviews. This is why, you know, I make these types of videos. This is why I make YouTube videos, right? Like, I want to be the person that, like, oh, maybe I catch something that you didn't catch, or notice something you didn't notice, or something like that. And also to learn from you in the comments. So leave a comment. Maybe there's something else I'm missing. Leave a comment down below, and let me know. You know, man, this thing also has like 4 size 3 shields. Oh, I wish the Assault had more shields too, but it is what it is. At least they got they got, you know, multiple quantum fuel tanks, so they'll get you wherever you need to go. All right, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.